friends, it's Bethany. Welcome back. In this video, I have an adorable Halloween card that you're going to love. I got this new stamp set from Simon Hurley and Spellbinders. They did send this over to me to create with, so I am immediately inspired. I am loving the floral look that we have on these bats and pumpkins, and of course I have the coordinating dies. So we are going to do something very colorful. I went ahead and grabbed some colored cardstock from Concord and Ninth. I trimmed that down, and again, I'll link everything that I'm using in the description box below so you can take a look closer at all of the materials I'm using to bring this card together. I'm really intrigued by this beautiful little floral bat, and I'm going to use this repetitively across my card today and just make something really fun and colorful. I'm going to do heat embossing, so I am using my anti-static powder. I'll also condition the stamp really quickly because it is brand new, and then I will just press some Versamark right onto my stamp, make sure that's all aligned in my MISTI, and then I'll press that down. I end up pressing these just 2 times, and that's more out of nervousness than anything else. Oh, maybe I only pressed it once. Oh my goodness, maybe I'm just surprising myself here. And then I'm going to use actually a clear embossing powder. I'll link this down below. It's one of my favorite embossing powders. It's amazing. And I love doing this clear technique on colored cardstock. It is so wonderful and it provides a great look. Then I'm using my heat tool to melt the embossing powder, and I love how this turns out. I really am obsessed with the floral little pattern of the bats. I think it makes for such a fun little Halloween look. So now it's all about lather, rinse, repeat. I'm going to continue to do this on all of my pieces of colored cardstock with the same technique, same bat, and we're going to just do a little fun, colorful repetition with this card. So not all of my videos are in this voiceover format, but lately I have just been feeling the need to have some quiet time in the evenings. This is not something that I'm going to do a lot, but sometimes there's a lot of pressure to make sure I'm recording each and everything that I craft, and sometimes it's really nice just to have some quiet time to myself. So I just mentioned that because I know you guys like my live recordings. I do those 99.5% of the time, but if you see me sprinkle in a little voiceover every once in a while, just know it's me trying to sneak in a little quiet time. I have 3 busy little kids, and sometimes a little bit of silence is just what I need at the end of the day. So this is my way of still creating for you, but having a little me time. Okay, using my paper trimmer, I'm going to trim this panel down to 4 inches by 5 1/4, just so I have a nice little margin. And then I'm going to kind of create a very dimensional look. Now, I'm going to warn you right now, this is not something you're going to put in an envelope and mail. This is a card you will hand deliver. Either you are giving a little fun little gift or you're placing it in a little basket. You can absolutely skip the part where you kind of give these a little bended look and do something a little flatter if you'd like, do whatever you wish, but for mine, I know going in it's going to be hand delivered, and I'm going to make this really fun and dimensional. Now, don't panic. You saw me just cut a stamp apart, and I do this from time to time. The reason is I only have a little bit of space for my sentiment, and I absolutely loved this sentiment and wanted to use it, but it was only 1 line, and it was just going to be too long for the space provided. So what I did is I just cut it down so that I could make it a double-lined sentiment, and that's just the nature of the game. Sometimes you just have to make your craft supplies work for you, either because you prefer them that way or for the good of the project in front of you. So feel free to amend things if you need to every once in a while. It's totally okay. You have my permission. All right, so this says "You're fantastic," which is absolutely fantastic. So I had to do it. It's so cute. Now I'm using my Score Buddy with 110-pound cardstock to construct my card base, and then I'm going to score that right down the middle at 5 1/2. Then I'll just press that little seam there. That way we have a nice pressed fold, and we'll be ready to add on to our card base. Isn't this so fun and cool? I really love the idea of doing something a little bit more non-traditional, dimensional, and super fun for Halloween. So now I'm just securing my card to the mat. I added some foam tape behind my card panel to just bump it up just a little bit. I love this foam tape because it is really thin, so it makes for really just subtle dimension, which is really nice every once in a while. All right, so now it's time to add the bats. I am going to add a little bit of dimension, even though they are dimensional one-dimensional on their own, but I really want the little middle body part to really pop up off of the card as well. So I'm grabbing these tiny little foam squares. They are amazing to work with. I'll link them down below. And I'm just going to place these around my card, kind of cascading from the top left to the bottom right. And I love how that turns out. Isn't that pretty? I think it's so pretty, so fun, very non-traditional, and I love the pop of color. Look at that dimension. It's just too much. All right, now I'm going to use one of my favorite embellishments. Most of you know how much I love these, and they're just really simple, especially when you have such a fun pop of color. You want to have a little bit of additional embellishment, but you don't want it to detract from the actual focus point of the card. So I love how this turned out. I hope you were inspired as well. Please be sure to give this a thumbs up if you enjoyed watching, and I can't wait to continue crafting with you soon. I have so much fun putting these videos together, and thank you so much for watching.